And this is Cognition, episode 3. Where are the 8 million COVID? This is going to be a really short episode, I hope, because I have just one issue and one question I need the world to be thinking about. It is this information I found on Google when I posed the question, how many people have died from COVID? 2.2 million cases, 14.2 million recovered, and 783 dead worldwide as of August 9th, 2020. What I want to know is, if 14.2 million have recovered, what about the other 8 million? Now, 783,000 are dead. Does that mean there are 8 million that still might die? Now, this is what it says about the U.S. 5.54 million infected, 173,000 dead as of August 9th, 2020. But no number for recovered. So where is the recovery number coming from? There's an interview that was conducted by Matthew McConaughey with Dr. Fauci, an expert in infectious diseases here in America, in case you don't know about that, but most people are very familiar with that. He's like all over the news. It's by Now This News, or at least the video can be found on Now This News on YouTube. Just type in Matthew McConaughey and Fauci and you'll find it. You should see it. According to Fauci, many who recover from COVID may end up hospitalized and die of some other condition after recovering from the disease. Recovery apparently is not an indication of survival or that they are okay. Now, I'm not a fan of McConaughey. He actually worked with an actor named Justin Sandler, and Justin and I were friends on sets for years. And he brought me home from the hospital. Justin brought me home from the hospital on cancer. Our friendship kind of fell apart. His wife and I did not get along, and I suspect in part it has to do with a guy named Gilbreth, a guy who assaulted me. I think he and his wife are part of me being removed from set. In fact, his wife at one point said, I should be over it. I'm thinking, I'm not getting over the fact that I can't be an actor ever again for the rest of my life. I'm never getting over that. It is never going to be something I'm going to be over. I'm going to be bitter and angry and upset and miserable for the rest of my life. So yeah, she's from Oregon, her wife's from Oregon, and her last name happens to be Carter. And I'm like, we could be family. So yeah, the video from McConaughey is important and worth a look. I'm not a fan of McConaughey, also because I was in a room with him once and he acted like he was afraid of me. It was a Q&A for a movie he was in. Jay Leto, the guy that plays Joe, who's been cast, I think, as Joker in the Marvel movies, he was there too. I didn't even care to talk to him. He was very GOP. I hope he's one of the GOP that jumped ship to save America. But he wasn't I didn't really want to talk. It was just weird. I was with another girl who wanted to get a picture with him, and yeah. Anyways, wear a mask because Fauci confirms in the video that for now, COVID is spread by spit. Yeah. As far as he knows, breathing in the air coming out of someone else's mouth is the most likely way of getting COVID. It's not by touch. It's not like you could spit on a wall and then somebody else later touches that wall. You might get COVID that way, but you have a less of a chance of getting it. It's air to air. So stop being stupid. Wear a mask. Now, this 14.2 number, in my opinion, may be propaganda, unless someone can tell me where it's coming from. I was an economic major and studied statistics. Statistics can just be made up sometimes. I don't think it's relevant. We do not know what recovery means. We don't even know if it means you cannot get COVID again. It is frustrating when we downplay what is going on. We cannot do that. It is frustrating when someone is putting numbers up that make you think, oh, it's not that bad. 14.2 million recovering. Oh, okay, we're all going to be okay. Do you know that when the Spanish flu happened in the end of World War II, the press did the same thing in a way? That plague that our current POTUS made several inaccurate comments about. The press ignored and downplayed the disease to a large extent because, well, granted, there was a war going on and they did not have the internet and cell phones and that instant knowledge of world events. The first wave of the Spanish flu of 1918 started in January and killed 75,000 people by the summer. That was the first wave. But the second wave in the last part of 1918 killed 292,000 people in the United States. It is considered the second largest pandemic, the first being the Black Plague. But COVID has already killed way over that in the same period of time as the first wave of the Spanish flu. COVID has outdone the Spanish flu. Now, writing this, I realize there's another plague that history has forgotten, and actually probably more, because there's huge stretches of history that is not recorded. But many Native Americans are suffering from this disease, and many Native Americans were killed not by warfare, but by the colonists when they came to America and they brought diseases from Europe with them. Like, there used to be a huge population of Native American Indians in this country, and they were pretty much wiped out, especially on the East Coast. And now this disease is killing them again. And the government, in my opinion, has a responsibility as the government that in effect conquered Native America to be their caretakers, to help them help themselves. We've been so irresponsible with life. We should care about those living now. Every time I see someone without a mask, I think, have we learned anything from history? Have we learned anything from science and medicine, from education? Wear a mask. And as to the 8 million, if there are 8 million in the hospitals, 8 million who can still transmit the disease because they're still infected and haven't recovered, do you honestly think that it's smart not to wear a mask? Use your cognitive function. 8 million is 4 times Los Angeles, and I think 2 to 3 times the city of New York. It's a lot of people, especially if they congregate, travel. Use your brain. Think, please. Your life and others may depend on it.